And welcome to the new Canvas platform. As you can see right now, I'm on the dashboard of the Canvas platform, and it'll show you the classes that you have that might either be using web-enhanced, hybrid, or online classes. We are in the civil litigation class, so if you see down here at the bottom, if we click on that link to the civil litigation class, we'll be right in the classroom. All right, very important for you to look at and understand first is that we, of course, are not in the D2L platform any longer. We're now in the new Canvas platform that will probably be ours for a very long time. In order to get into that platform, you can get on your myvcc.edu website, and there's a link to the Canvas website there, or you can go directly at vccd.instructure.com. And that will bring you to the page for you to put in your username and password, the same as you have on your student website. And then you can get into the Canvas platform, pick up your classes, click on each of the classes that you need to get into, and the classroom will open up for you. Now you can see here, this classroom is not yet published, but it will be by the time you get into class. What we have here is the home page. That includes a syllabus. If you go down to the bottom of the page after my announcement here, you will see each of the assignments that are going to be due for each week, when they're due, and what we're essentially will be doing for each of the weeks, all the way including the final week in the class. You'll see, for instance, we have a week 1 discussion. It says that it's due on Sunday, January 15th, the last day of the first week. However, that is for all participation posts. The initial response is due on Thursdays, as we'll talk about more when we get into our discussions. All right, what I've given you here on my announcement is a link to how to study for business law, which is very similar way that you study for any law class. So I do implore you to look at this as a way to study for civil litigation, because if you want to know all the concepts involved and understand them well, you literally, of course, read your book, and then you write out just the definitions of each of the legal concepts that we are going to be responsible for. And most importantly here, you also want to write out the deadlines. Whatever deadline you see in your book for anything, you're going to write that out on a separate list of deadlines for different kinds of things to do in civil litigation. That's because we have quizzes on those that are important. About 200 points of the class are on these quizzes, but also deadlines are extremely important for a paralegal in civil litigation. You're going to be responsible for taking care of a lot of those deadlines and making sure that the firm does, in fact, take care of things on time. You will be calendaring them typically and making sure that the firm files things as necessary so they don't miss any of those deadlines. All right, so we are on the home page. The first thing you probably want to do after you get into the classroom is go to your modules, which is the same as the content tab from D2L. And in this, you're going to find all of your materials that you need for each week. Here's your syllabus here under Getting Started. And if you click on that, of course, it'll open up the syllabus. Whenever there's a file in there that it has, what it will do is it will open up the file in a viewer, much like D2L did. And we'll also give you a little link so you can download the syllabus. If I click on that, then it'll download it on my other screen. I'll bring it over here and show you. And it takes a little bit of time for the screen to come up to show you the first page of that document. But then you can continue on just by scrolling down the document as far as you want to go, and that'll show you it, in the classroom itself. And of course, here's the actual one that came in when I clicked on the download the syllabus. You will want to download your syllabus so you can have it offline, just in case for any reason you can't get online, but you need the information in the syllabus to know what to do. Make sure you have that with you. Put it on your desktop. Even print it out would be a good idea as well. So again, in modules, we have many different things here. What's going to happen is we're going to have assignments each week. We're going to have at least one discussion each week. And very often we will have more than that. We will have both a discussion and a written assignment that's going to be due. When written assignments are due, you'll find that there will be a video that will take you through how it is that we fill out these forms or create the documents that we need to create so that you can follow along and understand how to do what you need to do. Mostly it has to do with where do you put certain information, because all of the scenarios that you're given will have the information that you need, to fill out the proper form or to create the document that as you need to. And the rest is for you to know where to put it, basically, and where to put the information within the document in the proper place. That's what you'll see in these videos. The videos will not be of the exact scenario that you have in your assignment, obviously, because otherwise I would be giving you all the answers, but will be one that is similar so that you can see what kind of information should go in different places, and then you can pick out that same information in your scenario and put it in the proper place in the document because you've been schooled to do so in an actual video. Now there also will be video lectures, which are not here yet but will be here soon, for each of the chapters that we are studying in our textbook. Remember that you're learning civil procedure. You're learning how to conduct civil litigation. And so much of the learning in this class is going to be learning that particular topic area. It's more than just how do you fill out a form. It is how and why do we fill out forms, what forms do we fill out, and essentially how do we fill them out. So you do know that you're going to see a lot of ways in which the civil process works. That's part of your education. It's something you need to know. If you don't know that kind of information, you really won't do well in a civil litigation firm. And I will tell you this, the largest employment of paralegals will have to do with something involved in civil litigation, whether it is a family law case, it is just a general business law case, a landlord-tenant case, or anything of that sort, where paralegals are needed mostly is in litigation, because there is so much to do, so many responsibilities to take care of that they will want to have someone who knows what they're doing and can help the firm to make sure that everything runs smoothly. Because otherwise, of course, things can definitely fall apart very quickly when there's so many different deadlines, so much to do in any given case, and we often have many cases in a firm. All right, so you've got these modules, and every week they're the same. There's you know, if you need a document, for instance, there'll be, let's say, a personal injury complaint. The document is actually here. You will want to download that document rather than look at it in the viewer, because that's a document that you're going to pull up. It's a PDF. It's a fillable PDF that you're going to actually fill in as part of what you're going to do. So here's the actual thing that's in the viewer, and here's what came up in the you know, in the download. This is actually a form. It's a judicial counsel form, and here's how you actually fill it in. You can actually put in the name, and often the attorney will be me. So you'll put my name in there, and you'll put my, you know, state bar number and that sort of thing, which is all indicated in the training that we give you on how to fill out these forms. And then I'll ask you to do certain things, or certain aspects of the case are as I state they are in this scenario, and then you have to put the information about that in the proper place in each of these boxes. Now, not all the boxes will be filled in because not all boxes are applicable, but you will fill them in as you need to make sure that you do the complaint correctly, if it's a complaint or whatever it is that you're doing. Many of the things you'll be doing will be judicial counsel forms, and some of them will be documents that you put together and you create out of whole cloth. And more forms than whole cloth type documents. That makes it much easier, but you do have to be very careful because these need to be in perfect form in order to get all the points. For everything that you do wrong in each of those, you'll get minus a certain number of points. So if you want to do this well, you need to go back and check your work more than once just to make sure that you have everything as it should be. So again, you'll have everything you need because there'll always everything that is required of you will be in the modules for you to use. So again, if you need a document or you need a form for a document, it'll be in there for you to use. We also have practice scenarios to give you some good ideas of how things should work, and we'll use those in some of our videos. Here's all the summons forms, proof of service forms. In essence, if you need a form that week, you're going to have it right here. There's a general denial form and so on and so forth. So we've got plenty of forms for you. And again, you'll have training on each of the written assignments in a video that'll be there for every single week. So look for the videos there. Do be sure to look at the video before you try to fill out the forms or create the document, because otherwise you're probably going to be spinning your wheels and spending a lot of time that you didn't need to. Also, the video lectures are very good for helping you to understand what you need to understand. Students do a good job of using the video lectures such as by playing them in their car when they're driving to work and back from work as a way to get a good grounding in what we're going to be talking about even before they read the textbook. Sometimes it's better to do that before you read the textbook. Some students find that it's actually better after they read the text, but in any event, they're good explanations. It's the same as if you were in class and I was giving you a lecture on the material for that week. All right, so that's the modules. Let's go to discussions. There's simply a discussion tab, very much like it was in D2L, except that it's out by itself rather than under the communication tab at the top. Now it's all by itself. The first thing we have is a Getting Acquainted forum. You're going to click on that on the first day of class, which is January 9th. And make sure that you post something telling us just a little bit about yourself by 8 p.m. on that night, just to make sure that you are there. It's your way of telling us that you're in class. It's the same as if you were coming to the first day of class. For those who do not post on that day, they might and probably will be dropped. If there's room in the class, I may not drop them. I may try to send them an email asking them if they're still in the class. But if there are people on the wait list and someone does not check in by 8 p.m. on January 9th, then they will be dropped. And the reason for that is I sent out emails telling everybody what they need to do. And it's important because we don't want to keep a seat open for someone who's not going to be there and prevent someone who needs the class from not getting it. Okay, so discussions, getting acquainted. When you simply click on that, of course, it'll open up. Again, it's not open yet, but here it is. Simply post your autobiography by the first day of class at 8 p.m. Introduce yourself a little bit, and then you don't have to, but it'd be a good idea if you also introduce yourself to other students in the class, get to know people. It's a good opportunity to get acquainted with everyone in the class. Now, going back into discussions again, we have a discussion every week, including the last week, which is our week 18, because I added 1 week for spring break. So there's actually 17 weeks of school, but 18 weeks of class listed here. So if you go to the first week 1 discussion, you'll see it opens up as here. You see there's several questions here and also scenario or events for you to look at. What I would do is simply copy the questions rather than clicking on reply and then typing into the box your response. And the reason for that is that if you start typing into this box here, it may take you some time, and you might be called away to do something, and or you lose internet in the middle of doing all this, and all the work that you just typed in there is going to be lost. So instead of doing that, what you do is you simply go and open up a new Word document. You place the pasted question into the Word document, and now you have it there for you to use as a template to sort of know what you do have to do. And you'll have the scenario there. You'll have the questions to ask that are asked that you are going to be answering, and then you've got suggested word count and so on. And you're simply going to type in your response. You're going to save that on your desktop, and then you're going to take your response, just the response, and then you're going to post it into the body of the post. Don't post it as an attachment, because if you do, you'll probably not get very many responses. That's because it takes time for people to download your response. But if it's in the body of the post, when they click on it, it simply comes up very quickly. And so most people will just not answer you if they have to go through several steps and spend, even 30 seconds downloading something. So again, I suggest you simply post it in the body of the post, click on Post Reply, and you're there. Okay? And that's how you do it for each week. This part down here, of course, is just explanation telling you that how many points you have and how to post your response by Thursday. Very important, your initial response to this question that's here in the discussion forum has to be posted no later than midnight on Thursday for maximum point potential. And that's so that we have people posting at least a few days before the end of the week so people can respond to it. And then you can respond to them, and then we go a little bit back and forth. What's also very important is you have to be in the discussion for 3 of 7 days. That means that you can't just post everything on one day and go away. The reason for that is because you're not going to have the benefit of seeing people responding to you and then being able to respond back to them. So that means you could, for instance, post your initial response on Thursday, come back on Friday and post a response or two to other students, come back on Friday on Saturday, and post a couple more responses to other students, and then you're done because you have Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That's 3 days during the discussion. You have at least 3 substantive participation posts to other students, and you have your initial response to the discussion question. Now you'll be graded on the quality of those, so make sure that they're good quality, and if they're good quality, you should get all the points. Now what's important about the participation posts is that you only get points for participation posts if you add something meaningful and relevant of your own to the discussion, regardless of what you're responding to. So if you respond to someone and you say, oh, I totally agree with what you have to say, it's really neat how you said this, this, and this, that's nice, but you won't get any points for that because you don't get any points for simply agreeing with, disagreeing with, and or just restating what the other student said. You get points because you add something meaningful and relevant of your own to the discussion in each of your participation posts. If you do that, then you should be able to get all the points for each post that you do that for. 3 of your 10 points are for your participation posts and 7 for your initial discussion question and response. So discussions every week, again, just as if we were in class, more or less, and that's what we are mimicking here on the online environment. Let's go to your assignments. Assignments is different than it is in D2L because in assignments in Canvas, for some reason, they have every single assignment that you have. Anything that has grade attached to it, you're going to have it in the assignment. And so there's lots of assignments, including the discussion questions, including the quizzes, and including the written assignments. So everything is there, and every graded thing is there. Not true in D2L is that was only written assignments in D2L, but this is everything. So that's a little bit different than D2L. Also announcements. When you come into the class, I would ask that you look for announcements. And see if there are any new announcements. If there are any, and these are some of the old classes still have to get deleted out. But when I give you announcements, I can tell you that it'll be important for you to know. I don't waste your time by having things in there that are just routine pieces of information you didn't necessarily need to know. What you want to do is read them and make sure that you understand them because there'll be something important for you to know. And so I will also email the announcements to you, so you'll see them in your email. So do read them if you see them there. And if you haven't seen them there, come into the classroom. Look for announcement every time you come into the classroom, if you would. All right, so going back to home, you again have your schedule here that goes down to the bottom. And you see here that everything, for instance, in this week here, ending on February 19th, we have a general denial assignment, and then we have a week 6 discussion, all of them together in 1 week. So that's just about it. Grades, of course, are here just like they were in D2L. If you click on grades, you'll get your grades. When they are updated, you'll see the grades that are there. Again, if you have any questions about your grades, please feel free to email me with that. It's important to email me because if you call me, I may not be at a computer and I'll forget. But if I have it in writing in an email, I will generally not forget, and so I will deal with it. And it may take a day or two, but I will deal with it and see what needs to be done. So email me those if you would. Here's your quizzes. If you want to go directly to the quizzes and you open that up, you can get into your quizzes very easily. They are not obviously available right now, but quiz number 1, when it comes up, it'll actually tell you it's 50 points. Turns out that there's any number of questions, typically 10, on the first 3 quizzes. And then on the last quiz, there are 25, I believe, 25 questions. And the ones on the final have come from the first 3. So you will be able to see the correct responses to the ones you got incorrect on Wednesday of each week after the end of the week. It'll be only open for 1 day, so be sure to go in and look for your correct answers on that 1 day. And then you can make a note of any ones you got wrong so that you can do well on the final quiz, which is in the finals week of the class. All right, so that's pretty well it. I hope that helps you to understand this new platform a little bit better. It's going to be a good platform. It's just a little different than D2L, so you'll have to get used to it a little bit more. So otherwise, that should be it. Again, if you have any questions or you need any clarification of anything regarding this platform or the classroom, feel free to email or call me.